Hello, Aries. I am back. I have had a long time off from doing any videos, not by choice. I've had a crazy, insane life situation, and as you may know about me, I am also Aries, and we are great at bouncing back. It doesn't mean we don't feel any pain. It doesn't mean bad things don't happen to us, but we are pretty damn good at reinvention. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm starting over. I'm in a much better living situation. I'm in a place where I've got space to do what I want to do. If you've watched any of my stuff before, you know that where I was living before, I really was not able to kind of spread out and do my own thing and have the room I needed to even do my videos and stuff. So, excuse me. I can do that all now. So I'm going to start posting regularly. I don't know how often yet, but surely at least once a week, and hopefully way more than that at some point. And I want to do lots of interesting things, lots of deck reviews, maybe do a course, a tarot course, and I have a lot of events I'm going to be going to in the next little while. Maybe I'll tell you some stuff about that. And I am collecting your questions for advice on everything, and we will pull tarot cards to, I've got cards popping out from one end to the other. I'm just going to use them. Why the heck not? Because, when they want to emerge like that, you have to take them. So today is September 6th, 2022. And this reading, Aries, is going to be for our month of September, the rest of this month of September. And I hope it's going to be a great one because I have a lot of shit I have to accomplish. And I'm guessing you guys probably do too. So let's make it happen. But if anybody can make it happen, it's us. I need to get a little better set up here because I don't want to touch the table because I don't want to shake everything everywhere. But at the same time, I need to touch the table. So if it shakes, it shakes. So we're going to start right here and now with the first card that flew out at me, which is the Eight of Wands, which is an amazing card, and it means something's coming in fast and furious, fast action, fast moving action. This is a card that Aries tend to like. We're Wands people anyway, fire sign, but there's something about this card that really does hold a lot of magic. If you're starting a project, something's coming in fast and furious. It can mean your ideas are just flowing like crazy. It can mean a love relationship. It can mean something's coming in fast. So if that's the case, obviously be very careful. Because sometimes those fast love relationships really crash and burn, as we all well know. So it's an exciting card. It's a fast-paced card. It's a card about action, putting things into motion. And I think we tend to love this, right? What's not to love? Oh, the Knight of Wands reversed. The Knight of Wands could be us, Aries. Could be you if you're at that stage of life, a knight kind of stage of life where you are, kind of a warrior type going into battle, maybe the CEO of a company or maybe somebody high up in the company. Or you don't have to be high up. You could just be a mover and a shaker and really going for it and taking some risks and doing the kinds of things knights do. If you're that person, right now this card is reversed. So that could mean that you've got this thing that you want to make happen, but you're kind of holding back and not letting your whole knight passion unleashed on the world. Maybe the timing you feel isn't right or whatever, as we sometimes do in life, Life marches in and then you don't have the time supposedly, but you know what? You have to make it. You have to make it happen. So reverse this Knight of Wands because you're the Knight of Wands. And if it's not you, because I'm doing a reading for a lot of people here, so, it's kind of like there are lots of options. Maybe this is somebody in your life who is to come in. Maybe there's a delay. Maybe this Knight of Wands, this passionate sort of person in the prime of life is not yet reaching you. Or maybe it's somebody that's kind of on the outskirts of your life and you're not really paying a lot of attention to that person because, it's not really right in front of you or something of that nature. I mean, there's some kind of delay or holding back, or sometimes it just isn't clear yet. And that's why things can be reversed. But two cards that are nice to see next to each other. And the King of Cups. The King of Cups. He is very passionate. And the thing I like about Cups people is that they are really good at sort of speaking the language of love. Now, you have to discern whether or not when they do that, if it's real or not. So this usually tends to be an older person, somebody who's quite accomplished, somebody who's very good about talking about feelings. Often it's somebody you can go to talk about things, relationships, and, anything really. It's probably a fairly successful guy. Could be a woman, usually is a man. This person could be your dad, could be your uncle, could be a family friend, could be your boss, could be any of those people, could be your husband if you're married and in that sort of mode of life, brother, whatever. Sometimes the King of Cups marches in not as an actual person in our lives, but just to tell us to open up to relationships and open up to, letting love flow, or where there is love to reinvigorate it, something of that nature. That can be what the King of Cups is doing. All of the Cups cards, they all have different sort of flavors, but at the same time, they're all about communication and relationships and love and passion and being intuitive to all of that. And, it's also about loving yourself, loving the idea of relationships. It can be friendships. It doesn't always have to be about, two people getting together and having this, permanent relationship. It could be about so many aspects of life. And it changes everything else in life, right? Because you don't want to be all closed up about everything. I'm trying not to do that right now, but I have to admit, maybe that's why my King of Cups is coming in. Unless, of course, it could be a love relationship. I'm thinking of my own thing right now. But you know what? I really want an Aries guy. I've been waiting for a fire sign, or maybe even a Leo, okay? Maybe even a Sagittarius. I want to be with a fire sign. That is what I need. I've only had one relationship with a fire sign guy, and it was when I was very, very young, and he was fantastic. And I've had tons of friends who are Aries, and you know what? That's what I want to be with. So I need the passion. I need that drive. I need somebody who understands my motivation and my sometimes craziness and all the rest of it. So I think Aries men are for me. So you guys might not want that. Sometimes people want something that's not as high anxiety or high, motivation, or I shouldn't say anxiety. I mean, we can be anxious, but we're not probably the most anxious sign. We're more impulsive, very forward, outgoing, typically. I mean, everybody's not like this, but if you're a typical Aries, those are definitely some of the traits. But I shouldn't say we're not high anxiety, because when you have all this energy and passion and everything, you can, have like almost too much energy part of the time. So that's my interpretation anyway. So let's see what else we've got here. The Knight of Pentacles. Oh, we've got so many court cards. Holy. What? Oh, there's my King of Wands. Maybe I'll find that Aries guy. Okay, let's see what we've got here. This card is the Four of Pentacles. Sometimes people read it as somebody being stingy or a hoarder or hanging on to money, It's always kind of read as a super negative card. I don't really find that. I think it can mean you're holding on to something for the good. You could be saving. You could be maybe your friends perceive you as being kind of a stick in the mud because you aren't going out partying as much because you're saving up for a house or, something like that. I mean, that's a real positive spin on things. Maybe you are hanging onto something too tightly. I always think of this because I have 4 kids. I always think of it as me hanging on to them. And one of them moved out not too long ago. And it's just like torturing me half to death because I miss her all the time. And then I have another one who I miss all the time also. So it's brutal. It's just absolutely brutal. I hate it. But I mean, I guess we have to let them go, and that's part of life, and it's good for them, and all the rest of that jazz. But I think that's why I get this card sometime. That could be the fact. Now, of course, if you have a relationship with the King of Cups or the Page of Cups, you could be hanging on to them. The Page of Cups is typically a child or teenager, maybe a young adult. Very fun, very funny often. You know, kind of frivolous and jovial and often very, very funny and smart and passionate and loving and all of that. So maybe you have a child who's like that, or maybe you have, if you're young, you might have a boyfriend or a girlfriend who's like that. And, you know, it's just, it can be that person in your life. But again, since I'm reading for lots of you, it can also be that this card pops up to say, have some fun in life, be a little bit lighthearted, don't be too heavy duty. I mean, we Aries don't really tend to be as somber as a lot of the signs, but we do tend to be sort of driven and latch onto certain things, or we've got too many projects and we're, you know, overstressed, and, you know, we're going in too many directions and we can't focus. And so I think sometimes this card pops up to just say, lighten up, like lighten the hell up. And it's a great card. It's a great card. It's a happy card. And this is a really positive reading, Aries. I mean, this is not bad at all. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is not really like us, not like the Knight of Wands, who's a fire knight. The passion is nuts. Although, like I said, this is reversed, so our passion might not be its full blast self at the moment. I know mine isn't, because I just got out of the most ridiculous and pathetic, stupid relationship of my entire life. But it's going to be fine. Actually, it's going to be great, because it was a hell of a learning experience, and I'm glad I didn't end up in that mess, because that would have been like a spiral down into the pit of death. So actually, it's really great that that's over. But this Knight of Pentacles, this can be a person. If it is a person, it's going to be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. This Knight moves more slowly. Now, you can look at this to the positive, or you can look at it to the negative, okay? This Knight thinks things out. They're willing to invest the time. They're not the risk taker that the Fire Knight is. This guy, this person, typically it's a guy, but it doesn't have to be. Somebody with lots of male energy. We Aries tend to have lots of male energy anyway. Excuse me, I've got allergies, so I'm always coughing. This Knight of Pentacles, he takes his time. He thinks things out. He likes to invest in things that take time, over time. He's not what you and I might consider a ball of fire. But he gets the job done. He's still a knight. He's still doing his thing. He still will get there. He's that slow and steady, wins the race kind of a guy. The tortoise and the hare. The guy who might not move so quickly, but, you know, he has his wins in life. So that can, again, be a person, or it can be a concept. This guy might come in when we're being really irrationally risk-taking and spontaneous. This guy can kind of come in to say, hey, like, really do all the steps. Don't be skipping over anything here. Do all the steps. So the only thing that's complicated about this reading, as the court cards always are, is determining who's who. Are these actual players in your life, or are these things just ideas that you have to kind of look at and figure out how they can be valuable to you? Then we've got the King of Wands, the Fire King. And this guy, oh man, this is the guy I think maybe I'm looking for. solid, authoritative, can make those decisions, is strong and passionate and can put things into action. None of this wishy-washy nonsense. Everything is very based on passion and motivation and all the things that we Aries are all about. He is all of that personified, successfully personified. So if this is a person, now it doesn't have to be an Aries, it can be any fire sign. So that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And that goes also for our fire knight. I'm not sure if I said that or not. Here we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is a card about hard work. This is a card about, perfecting your craft. If you are a crafts person or somebody who works with your hands, it doesn't have to be those things. It could just mean your job. But whatever it is, you're learning, you're growing your skill, you're working hard, you're trying to make something happen for the future. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing at the moment. But don't forget about our fast and furious stuff. Somehow, see, this is a really good reading for us because somehow we have to temper our spontaneous, fiery nature with some of this mellowed out, but also thoughtful and kind of authoritative work in life. But ultimately, we're all about action. Wands are our thing because we're all about action and we like it fast. This card is persevering. You might have had things go wrong in life and you might have to be a little bit defensive, like in this card. We're a little defensive, okay? Because, life is not perfect. Excuse me, I think it's my candles that are doing me in, maybe. They're not scented or anything, but I don't have the window open, so I'm choking to death. In any case, this guy, in spite of the fact that you might be a bit defensive, in spite of the fact that life is not perfect and things can get rough, you are continuing on. You're persevering. You're going for it. You're doing your actions. You're going through life. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards with wands here. We also have some pentacles and a couple of cups. We don't have any air signs today in this reading, which is interesting. So think about if you have any people in your life who are like these characters in this reading. This is a lot. When you think about, we only have 9 cards here, and 5 of them are court cards. That is a lot of court cards in one reading. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's valuable. I hope it, provides some structure to what's going on in your life and you can kind of look at it. To me, the best part of the cards, the tarot cards, is the fact that you can kind of look at what's going on. And I know I always can kind of figure out who's who and what's what. I'm not sure who this is yet, unless, well, no, I don't think it's him. But then I don't know, I just moved, so I'm meeting all these new people, and I don't know everybody's signs. So these could prove to be very interesting people in my life. And so I'm looking forward to figuring out, the mystery and the little, detective novel that's going on here. So I hope you guys have a great month. I really want you to be positive. It's September, back to school for some. Fall's going to be coming along eventually. And it's going to be fantastic. And it's a great time of year to summer, I love summer and I'm always sad when it's over, but I'm going to really try not to be sad about that and to just kind of focus and do lots of great things. And I hope that you're going to do that too. And I am collecting your questions to do some shows on answering your questions. So please feel free to send me your questions to my email and have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing month ahead. I wish you all kinds of fantastic success. Have a great day, whatever you're doing, and I'll be thinking about you. Take care. Bye-bye.